Hey there all you good people, Joe from Joe's Computer Museum. As some of you may know, I work for an IT company as my day job, and we do a whole bunch of different things there. Stuff from basic computer repair to virus removal to managing whole corporate networks. Every once in a while we get something in that's a little bit of a challenge or a little bit outside the ordinary, but this one thing came in today that I thought I could probably take a crack at it. I'm going to show you what it is real quick. Alright, so here's what we got in. A gentleman brought in a USB flash drive that somehow met an untimely demise, as you can see there. Yeah, that's not supposed to look like that. And he told us, there's a lot of important and, quote, interesting, unquote, data on this drive. Can you do anything with it? And so we took a look real close and at this, and let me see if I can get a little better light here for you. We took a really close look at this, and as you can see, that one line right there is gone from that. It just ripped right off the board, and even worse, it pulled the entire solder trace off there, so that's really not a good thing. However, if you look really closely on there, if I can get it to focus, there's a board via right there. And so if you flip to the other side, there's the via right in there, right there near my pinky, that connects to the end of what looks to me to be a fuse or something. And so I told him I'd be willing to take a crack at that. So here's what I'm going to try to do. I looked it up, and because I don't have my specifications on these things memorized, but basically this pin right here is the power pin. The rest of the pins on here are in good shape, they seem to be. I'm going to continuity test it to make sure. And that via trace comes through the other side to there. So all I should need to do is take some rework wire here, solder a piece to this end, wrap it around the board, and pop it in right on the edge of, right on that little solder edge of that fuse there. And hopefully I can get this thing working long enough that he can get his information off of it. So let's do some check and see what we can figure out here. Alright, so we're going to do a quick continuity test on this just to make sure that this works. I'm using the world's crappiest multimeter, if you can even really call it that, in diode mode basically right here. That's off frame, you can't really see it, but basically that allows me to do a continuity test. So when I touch these together, something shows up at the screen, I take them off, the screen goes away. So that gives me a real basic continuity test. So let's go ahead and see if we can't get in here and test these pins out, make sure everything is hunky-dory. Alright, so I tested that off camera, and I have continuity from the actual jack end there to all four of the pins coming out of the back of that. So that means the connector is theoretically solid. Now I just got to put a little splice wire on that, bring it around to the other side, and hook it up. So let's do that.
School's out, I run home. Mom tells me that it's time for me to go and study. Screw that, I got plans. Gotta type the mints and bytes into assembly. Gonna dial the BBS, see what all my peeps are up to naturally. Hey wait, another crack.
Alright, now we're going to check the continuity on the back side of this and see what we get here. Yep, I am getting current on both sides of that fuse. So I'd say that's probably good. Now all we gotta do is plug it into a computer and check it out. Alright, here's the moment of truth. Will it show up if I plug it in? Haha, look at that. It works just fine. Well, that was a fun little project. Allowed me to save the customer's data. I was able to get +1 experience points in both the soldering and the circuit tracing columns on my skill sheet there, and shows you what you can do with a little bit of ingenuity and a little bit of diagnostic skill. You can figure out little things like that and help people out. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button or subscribe, and remember, 8 bits are all you need.